All right, how you doing, YouTube? Silver Joker here. Well, so you've decided that the time has come for you to sell some of your silver, some of your bullion. Maybe you had an emergency or something came up and you have to sell some of your silver. Well, if you're going to be selling it at a local coin store, I talk to my local coin store owner and I get some of his perspective on what we can expect when we sell our silver at our local coin store. So if you're interested in any of that, stick around.
I mean, if you're in a locality where you have the luxury of having two or three different coin dealers in the area, I would simply pick up the phone and say, I've got, explain what you have. Say you either have silver bullion, you have bars, rounds. If you have premium silver, tell them that you've got eagles, or tell them you've got maple leafs, or tell them you've got something that they might pay more for, so you can get an accurate quote. But typically, most dealers should be able to quote you a price at that point in time for what they would be willing to pay per ounce. And I would ask it per ounce. Say what are you paying today for your refined silver, your 999 silver rounds that are just generic bullion silver. Now I get calls like that all day long. The problem is when silver, I'm just taking the example of the last few weeks here, for me to quote a price and then to hang up, I mean, I could look back at silver in an hour and it could be up $1. So it appears like I'm undercutting people by $1 when I would be willing to pay more if they had called me, 5 o'clock instead of 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It just depends on where silver is. And that's, that's something that a lot of dealers have to deal with, because once you quote a price, the problem is it could go up or down from there. People walk in 2 or 3 days later and said, well, you quoted me $25 an ounce on this, and silver's sitting at 22 at that point. And then you explain to them, well, that was 2 days ago. So if you're going to do that, my guess is to let the dealer know, if I come in today with 100 ounces, what would I expect to get from that? And they might say, well, the way the volatility of the market is, I might have to wait till you get here to give you a price, because I don't know what it's going to be in an hour or two, however long it takes you to get here. It just depends, again, on where you're located. If there's one dealer in 50 miles, they might be somebody that just says, you either sell it to me for my price, or you mail it off to somebody, or drive 3 hours away if you want to get an extra $1 an ounce. There's some dealers, I mean, I have the limits of what I prefer to buy at one time, because I've got to turn it over within a certain amount. And I think one of the things is, this isn't stocks where silver's different. Dealers go out on a limb when they buy large amounts of silver, because they may not have silver buyers lined up to buy it all. So they're going to sit on it, and they have to endure whatever the market might bring over the next period of time it takes to sell whatever they have. So some dealers may be limited in terms of what they want to step out into as far as the amount of silver they buy at one time. There's some dealers that they'll take whatever you want, so you have to ask them that up front too. Is like, if I brought in 100 ounces, will you be willing to buy 100 ounces at this amount, or would you want 200 ounces? So that every dealer is going to be a little bit different, and a lot of dealers, again, they're buying this up front. I mean, people walk in with 100, 200 ounces at a time, and you write a check for 200 ounces, and now you've got 200 ounces of silver in your case, and at this point you have no control over where silver's headed.
I gotcha.
So there's a lot of dealers that will say, well, I'm okay with up to this amount, but then once that sells, maybe bring more in. And that's, again, goes back to what we had just said, that if you sell over time, I think you'll be able to work with individual dealers that you feel comfortable with, that you're getting a fair price, but at the same time move your silver. If you want to move large amounts of silver, move it in increments where they can pay you the highest price because they're turning it over fast for you, and
That makes a
because
lot of sense.
the margin on silver and gold is very, very small for most dealers. I mean, it's just a small percent.
All right. So in my next video, I asked Phil all about that. I asked him how he calculates the premiums that he charges, how most of the bullion dealers, how we can, as sellers, maximize our profit when we go to sell it. I mean, what are bullion dealers looking for? And I asked him all that in our next video. And also, I think it's important to understand that at some point we are going to become sellers. For me, it's going to be when I retire, but all of us may face a financial emergency where we might have to utilize some of our silver, liquidate some of our silver, and it'd be good to know how to do that, how you can maximize that profit. So that is the motivation behind posting these videos here. I'm going to talk to Phil. I'm going to talk to maybe one or two other local coin store sellers if they will talk to me, and we'll get their perspective on exactly what they're looking for when a person walks in with their silver and they want to sell it. So anyway, if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe and ring that bell and you'll be notified as soon as I put out another video. And you might consider sharing my video with somebody that may benefit from it or just interested in this type of subject or wants to start stacking silver. And also remember, there is a giveaway going on right now as we speak. I'm going to be picking first and second and third place winners very shortly. So if you haven't seen that video, I'm going to be drawing the winners very soon, very shortly. So you might want to get over there and get into that, and you'll see exactly what I'm giving away. Some very good stuff. I've already been called nuts by some of my friends and some of my fellow YouTube stackers. I've already been called nuts for giving this away, but you know what? You guys are worth it. 20,000 subscribers is not nothing to scoff at, and I do appreciate that, and I will show you guys how much I appreciate that with this giveaway. So if you haven't seen what I'm giving away, go check that out. Anyway, let's just keep this silver train rolling. If you got to go outside, wear a mask. It is that important, and let's just look out for each other. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. Keep stacking. Peace.